At this time, I'll call to order the City of Joliet Special City Council meeting for June 20th, 2025. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. Mayor?
Thank you.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Hug?
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Moreno?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin?
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Rudin?
Here.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item?
Good morning. My name is Matt Robbins, and I'm the supervisor of Jackson Township. The biggest thing I've got a problem with these two things that are brought up today is we have seen nothing on it. We have seen none of the agreements, so we don't know if it's good or bad for our community, which is Jackson Township, which encompasses Joliet residents. So I don't know how we're making a vote on something this quick. I understand there's litigation coming up, but then that should have been thought about years ago or before this. So that my comment is that how are we making a vote for something like this fast when the public has not been able to see it to make comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Delilah Legret, Jackson Township. I just have a couple of things for you. There have been hundreds of residents that have stood before you, City of Joliet, Jackson Township, Will County, for the last 5 years that have brought up very serious concerns about points of these agreements. In fact, these points are why we are here today, right? Because the City of Joliet has now gotten 3 lawsuits from the issues that residents have brought up. I would like to say that for myself and others, for the last 8 years, for many of you, the last 5 years, for some much less, you have seen North Point make promise after promise, put their signature on multiple things, and none of those have come to fruition. They have shown that their signature means nothing. So moving forward, all I ask of you is to be very cautious in that, to remember that you are in the situation you're in currently and could be in that situation in the future for promises not made. So please, listen to those residents. Maybe take their word a little more than you take the company's. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mayor, City Council, Tom White. I've testified at these probably since the beginning. And I'm not going to go back in time. I just want to commend the city on bringing these two beasts together to settle this thing once and for all and move forward on this. I think the city has done a phenomenal job of working this out and bringing this to a conclusion, and I would love to see a yes vote out of you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Ryan Adamski. I just kind of quick little statement. I wish there was more information that we could have ahead of this to speak a little bit more clearly about what you guys will be voting on. That's just want to make that statement. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item? Okay.
I'd like to make a comment. I know I'm not supposed to comment on public comment, but I'm going to make a comment. This litigation has been very intense for the last 18 months. We've re-engineered an annexation agreement, and you can't go public with litigation. So I hear what you're saying, but during the course of this litigation, it was not open for discussion. We had 2 choices: stay with what we had or try and fix it. Beth and I and Mike Layden, we spent hours in the last 18 months to try and re-engineer this. And I believe we've come up, all of us, with the best solution to what we were dealt. So there was no way to bring this public because of litigation situation. So I hear your comments. We want to continue to work with all of our neighbors. We want to continue to work with everyone. And we will hold everybody to the written agreement we have. There'll be no open areas in that. It is what it is, and we'll be sure of that. So thank you for coming. I see you shaking your head. I'm okay with that. You don't trust us, but let's learn to do it.
You went back on your word.
I didn't. And we'll talk about it later. That's all I have to say.
Mayor, councilmen and women, Patrick Young, operating engineers, and also I'm going to wear a second hat for the building trades of Will and Grundy County. This has been a long time coming. It's good to see that this is finally going to come to fruition. This is jobs for the tradesmen and women that live in Joliet. I'm not going to sit up here like Tom, I spoke about on this before. Please return a yes vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Michelle Peterson. I just want to make a comment. I don't know how anybody can say have a yes vote because we really don't have any information on this unless somebody else has information that we don't know or that I don't know as a Jackson Township resident. I don't know how anybody can say vote yes, vote no, when there's really no information to look at. So I just wanted to put that on the record. It would have been nice to be able to have any kind of information to say vote yes or no, and I hope to get some information here today. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item?
Do we want Mike to talk a little bit about some of the open points or do the vote first, Beth?
Sure. Michael, do you want to just speak on
Sure.
of what we've been through, what we're doing?
Good morning, everybody. Critically, this settlement will ultimately prevent trucks from the Eastgate development from going onto Route 53, which, as a result of the TRO that the court entered, we had to get emergency access to avoid potential liability for the city. And this will prevent that and prevent the problems of trucks from North Point going on to 53, which is important. The other problem with the prior annexation agreement is after year 2, it called for the city of Joliet to be paying for the maintenance of the roads and bridges that are part of the closed loop network. The mayor and Beth and city council have made it important that we fix that problem. The city of Joliet shouldn't be paying for that. And as part of this agreement, the taxpayers will not be paying for that. That has been fixed. And that was a looming multi-$100 million liability down the road. And we know one of the problems that exists today, and exists frankly separate and apart from North Point, is that Center Point uses Millsdale Road. I should say the workers and trucks use Millsdale Road to go east into your community. And sometimes trucks even going on to 53. We recently did counts. As a part of this, that part of Millsdale Road is a cul-de-sac. No cars, no trucks. It's a dead end. It is physically impossible. That will end. So the residents are not going to have to deal with cars, trucks, or anything coming down that area in Millsdale Road. And that was an essential and important part of this settlement. The other part of all of this is the city faced substantial financial liability both from North Point and Center Point. Center Point was suing us for damages. North Point, if we didn't give the emergency access, They would be in breach of their leases. They would argue that we were in breach of our annexation agreement. And so there was substantial liability. So this agreement gets rid of all that liability, gets rid of that looming taxpayer responsibility for the bridge and roads, gets trucks off of 53 from North Point, and gets to help move this forward. The agreement also provides for these parties to work with Joliet to hopefully reduce some of the impact of truck traffic that otherwise comes into the downtown area and other surrounding roads. So it's been a long fight, but this hopefully will put an end to all this litigation, move forward, and have better results. It also provides for greater regional traffic studies that will help the city, and the city's the final arbiter of that, which was not necessarily the way it worked under the old agreements. So if there are any other questions, but that's sort of the highlights on it.
Maybe just kind of an explanation of why this is so last minute, and
Sure.
that we, that you're set to go to court right after this, and the trial's supposed to start Monday, and we just settled this thing late yesterday.
Yes.
Can I add real quick, though? 18 months is not last minute. This has been a grueling 18 months. This just doesn't happen yesterday. This happened over hours and hours of back and forth. So this wasn't really last minute, but in litigation, you can't just bring litigation public, which I said earlier. So very far from last minute.
Mayor?
Yeah.
May I add something?
Sure.
Also, too, just so anybody, this is not the first time we've seen the proposed agreement to this lawsuit. We have reviewed it going back to Tuesday. That's what executive lawsuits and publishes them for public input. That's not how that works. That works for annexation, that works for changing of zoning and things of that nature, and is in fact required by law. But yeah, we're not saying this for the first time today. So, it may be in the scheme of legal measure, appears last minute, but the mayor is right. It's been going on for a year and a half, and we've had plenty of time. We've had 3 days, more than 3 days to review the changes that we reviewed already at the executive session. So I wanted to make that clear. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, another thing, this is probably our 5th and last final, but this is the one that got signed. We had thought we had this thing baked 2 or 3 times. And luckily for us, every time it got rebaked, it got better for us. Because we were more stringent on some of the little additions that got put in. Wait a minute, you didn't have that in the last one. So we worked this thing every which way we could. And I said to somebody yesterday, this was my best day as mayor, when I got the last call yesterday that we've all agreed we can agree to go forward. So this is my second best day when we signed this. Thank you.
So, look, that's correct. As Ms. Beatty said, we were supposed to start trial on Monday. Like many complex litigation matters, it's not unique to settle on the proverbial courthouse steps. But as Councilman Hugg said, Mayor said, this has been going on for a while. There's been multiple iterations, a lot of work into this. But settlement processes are confidential by nature with all the private parties involved. And so this is just part of the process, but it's been a lot of work to get to this point. So, okay. Any other questions?
Anybody else? Thanks, Mike.
I
Thanks
do
for all your help.
have a question.
I want to say this too, he has been instrumental in working with us. And I can't say we could have had a better attorney helping us with this. He's world class, and I give you all my respect. Thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. Just, Beth, just for the record too, there's been no changes since we reviewed this on Tuesday to the settlement agreement.
Correct, no changes.
Okay, that's why I want to be certain of that. That's my only question, because we did go through it, and I want to make sure the last minute changes, as the mayor already alluded to, there's been, so many parties involved, 3 parties involved in this, or 4 parties technically. There's been changes or reiterations for 5 times. So this is the same one we reviewed.
Same one you reviewed.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
When will the MOU be available?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say this is my district, and there's no amount of pressure that could ever be put on me that would make me vote for something that I didn't think was absolutely the best thing for my district, for traffic, for all the surrounding areas. And we worked really hard on this. By we, I mean Beth. Thank you. Todd Lindsay, the mayor, all parties worked really hard. Well, fighting it out in court might seem like fun to some. It's costing our taxpayers a lot of money fighting it out. All sides agree, all parties in this agree, and those are my comments. I just wanted to put that on the record. Thank you.
This will all be made public right after the meeting, correct?
Correct, and we can have copies available as well.
Any other comments, questions? I'll make a motion.
Motion to, oh, you're making the motion, Mayor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Motion to
Called
approve
it.
the,
First, please read the
Okay.
items.
read the agreement for the motion.
Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 374-25, ordinance authorizing execution of a settlement and mutual releases agreement between the City of Joliet, Humboldt Road Extension, JV LLC, Centerpoint Properties Trust, Centerpoint Joliet Terminal Road LLC, Eastgate Logistics Park Chicago LLC, New Wave Farms LLC, and North Point Development LLC, relating to the construction of the North Point Development in Joliet, Illinois, Will County Case Number 2022, MR 138, and other related matters. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 375-25, ordinance authorizing execution of a First Amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding for the Humboldt Road project between the Illinois Department of Transportation, the County of Will, the City of Joliet, and the Humboldt Road Extension, JV LLC, as assignee of Centerpoint Properties Trust. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council? Okay. Seeing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.